Discussion presentation 4. Hi everyone, I hope you are all doing well. For this presentation, I'll be talking about something that's often overlooked in programming, ethics, especially when we use Python. This includes the things like how we handle privacy, security, and accessibility, and also how we write and share our code. I will also talk about why writing clean and readable code is not just a good habit, but actually part of being a responsible and ethical programmer. These things might not always be at the front of our minds, especially when we are focused on building things fast or solving technical problems, but they really matter in the long run. So I will go through the questions one by one and share my thoughts. Okay, how does Python support ethical values like accessibility, security, and privacy? Python is a very powerful language. It's easy to learn, it's used everywhere, from websites to security tools, and because of that, we need to think carefully about how we use it. First, let's talk about accessibility. Python gives us the ability to create tools that can help people who have disabilities. For example, there are Python libraries that work with screen readers, speech recognition, and even image description tools. This means developers can build software that is more inclusive and more people can benefit from it. In my opinion, making sure what we build can be used by everyone, not just people like us, is one of the first steps of being ethical. The next one is going to be security. Python is widely used in cybersecurity. People use it to build tools that scan for vulnerabilities or automate testing, but at the same time, these tools can be used for harmful purposes too. So we need to be aware of our responsibility. It is important to use this knowledge for protecting systems, not breaking them. And finally, privacy. With Python, it's easy to collect data, whether it is through scraping website, using APIs, or building systems that store user information. But just because we can collect data doesn't mean we should collect all of it. So respecting the people's data, avoiding unnecessary collection, and making sure it's stored securely are all ethical responsibilities. Also, if you're working with personal or sensitive data, we should always ask, do we really need this? And are we protecting it the right way? Using encryption, limiting access, and following data protection laws like GDPR are all examples of doing the right thing, not just doing what's easy. What are some best practices Python developers should follow? There are several best practices that can help us stay on the right path, ethically and professionally. For one, never include sensitive information in your code. Sometimes developers accidentally put passwords, API keys, or other private info in their scripts and forget to remove it before sharing. So this can lead to serious problems, especially if the code is uploaded to a public site like GitHub. And then second, always validate and sanitize input, especially if your script takes data from users or the internet. This helps prevent attacks like injection or crashes from unexpected input. Third, make sure you are using safe and updated libraries. If a library hasn't been updated in years or has known vulnerabilities using a Kubernetes, then developers should always try to keep dependencies secure and up to date. And finally, follow open source licenses. Just because a Python package is free to download doesn't mean we can use it in any way we want. Some licenses allow commercial use, some don't. So we should always check the license before adding it to our project. All of these are examples of respecting not just the users, but also the developers behind the tools we use. Why clean, readable, and maintainable code matters ethically? Now let's talk about code quality. Writing clean, readable, and well-structured code is something that many people think is just about making life easier. And that's true, but it's also about being responsible. So let's say you write a Python script and then someone else from your team needs to work on it. If the code is messy, with confusion variable names or no comments, they will probably waste hours trying to understand it. That's not fair to them. It creates stress and it can increase the chance of errors. On the other hand, if you write code that's easy to understand, with clear comments, constant formatting, and good structure, you are helping others, even your future self. That's why coding standards like PEP8 exist. So following them shows professionalism and respect for whoever comes next. Also, when code is hard to read, bots and security issues are more likely to slip through. So writing clean code also helps protect users and systems. Again, this connects back to ethics. We're not just building something that works, we are building something that can be trusted. How can we ensure responsible use of Python in general? Python can be used for so many things: automation, scraping, artificial intelligence, data analysis, even making boards. So that's powerful, but with that power comes the chance to do harm even by accident. For example, scraping too much data from a site without permission can violate their terms or overload their servers. Using Python to build fake social media accounts or manipulate the content is clearly unethical, even if it is technically possible. Training an AI model with biased data might lead to unfair decisions, especially in areas like hiring, finance, or law enforcement. As developers, we should always ask, is that what I'm doing going to help someone or hurt someone? And also, would I be okay if someone used this tool on me or my family? So thinking about the possibilities impact before we write a single line of code is what makes us ethical developers, not just skilled ones. To sum everything up, being ethical in Python programming isn't just about avoiding mistakes, it's about thinking ahead and being responsible with what we create. Python gives us a lot of tools, and how we use them really matters. When we write clear, secure, and respectful code, we're not just helping ourselves, we are also making things better for others who will use or maintain our work later. So that's part of being a good developer. It's also important to remember that our scripts can affect real people, whether it is how we handle the private data or whether our code is accessible and fair. Those small decisions can make a big difference. So overall, the goal is to use Python in a way that is helpful, thoughtful, and responsible. And thanks again for listening. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts too.